from different angles, not only just a specific area of technology, but how it integrates with other aspects of society, how it integrates with other aspects of the industry for that matter, practicality, things of that sort. So I think this whole idea of driving a research culture at a large scale, starting right at the undergraduate level, leading up to the graduate level of research is very important. And I think the industry and the academia have got a significant role to play, because this culture doesn't develop in isolation in the institutes. It develops at different levels, at different facets, at different interaction points. And there's aspect of practicality, aspect of economics, there's aspect of the base technology. So I think that's one area I think we need to really develop, right? The second thing I think is research requires, and research and development requires, bold thinking, right? A bold, large thinking, right? And I think that's something that needs to be really fostered, right? And again, like I said, it needs to start right from the beginning. How you think bold, how you think big, how do you really look at things from a perspective of making a big change, right? And they may not result in necessarily big successes, but again, the ability to think in that direction, right, is very important. The third thing, and I think this has got to do with a little bit of culture, is you know, the willingness to fail. I think in research and development, or any what you call innovative work that you're doing, your willingness to fail is very important. That yeah, you can fail, and the fear of and really getting rid of the fear of failure is essential in terms of driving what you call different kinds of innovation and research across different levels, right? So I think that as in India, I think as a general culture is kind of a little subdued. And I think that is an essential driver of the way you think across different boundaries, across industries, across practicalities, across technologies to really make things happen. And finally, I think we are a developing economy, right? And I think there's a lot of opportunity. At the same time, we need to be really careful in terms of how we apply ourselves in terms of R&D, because R&D is inherently risky. And so being able to really focus yourself onto some specific things. And again, some might say, oh, how can you focus things because there's so many things to do, and how do you know what is right? Granted. But again, given the practicality of the situation, focusing on a couple of things like maybe energy, like maybe some people talked about infrastructure construction, like maybe manufacturing, automobiles, right? Things which are really contextual to the society, the Indian society, perhaps might be something to look at, right, in terms of focusing yourselves, right? So I think those are some of the things that I would kind of observe.
Thank you. So I'm going to first put the 3 IIT directors on the spot. Okay, so these questions are for the 3 IIT directors. Okay, then I'll come to the industrialists a little bit. Oh, no, don't worry. We'll come to you too. So the way this question will work is I'll ask the question, and we'll just start from left to right, if you don't mind. You can't really think. You have to choose one or give an answer quickly. Okay, you'll all watched this thing, right, on TV. So, and audience, if you can think about what your answer would be and see if it matches with what our professors are going to talk about. Okay, you ready? Sure. Mike? Okay. Indian Google in which year?
Probably another 10 years from now.
Yeah, I would go along with that, with 10, 15 years.
Could you please repeat the question?
Indian Google in which year?
Indian?
Google.
I do not know.
World-class
I have
startup.
no idea.
Oh, it's a 2075.
I have no
Okay.
idea.
All right. You have to collaborate. Indian company or international company?
Indian company.
Indian company, very clear on that.
If you have to collaborate, would you collaborate with an Indian company or international company?
International company.
Anyway, here's IIT. I'm coming to you guys.
Hello, you want us actually to collaborate with Indian company or international company?
Right.
We want to collaborate with both.
Okay. Government money or private money?
Government money to a large extent, maybe 70 to 80%.
Wait, too long an answer.
A combination.
Government money or private money?
We'll focus more on private money rather than the government money.
So I'll start from this side now, if you don't mind. Acha. 1 center or 10 centers?
One center may not be sufficient for an institution like this, but we'll have few centers.
1 center or 10 centers?
Yeah, I think a few centers, neither 1 nor 10, but maybe 3 or 4.
Yeah, many centers. Yeah.
Okay. I'll start from you again. Entrepreneur or government officer?
Pardon?
Entrepreneur or government officer?
Our focus will be on entrepreneurship, and we have been trying right from the beginning for the last 30 years, and we'll continue on that.
Government officer.
Entrepreneur.
Entrepreneur.
Okay. Thank you. I'm just trying to put you on the spot. I thought you'd have said IAS officer. No, somebody would have said. Okay. Industrialists. No, all three of you, please. Okay. To collaborate, it's easier to do it with IIT or international university?
International universities.
International university at the moment.
International university.
Okay. In-house R&D or university collaboration?
Combination.
Yeah, combination.
University collaboration.
Do own R&D or buy technology?
Again, it's both.
No, wait, it's a cop-out. This is a choice.
Come on, man.
No, multiple choice
There
quiz
should, be,
aata hai na?
there should be none of the above.
No. This is only,
Yeah,
you're not
okay.
watching enough
for,
TV
For,
when you have
for,
only,
for immediate delivery, buy technology. For developing long-term strength, develop technology.
Yeah, again, it depends on the type. It's very difficult to answer this question. Some things you readily available, you buy it. Sometimes you have to collaborate. So
majority.
You can't sort of have a pat answer for these kind of things.
So you're on both. Okay. Do own R&D or buy technology?
Do own R&D.
I'll start with you. Depend on government or depend on IITs?
IITs.
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 All right. So there you have it. So I think our organizers have said that we have to end in a few minutes. So I'm just going to give each of you, first of all, thank you for being good sports. I know this was not, these were not obvious questions to answer, and I was putting you on the spot, but thank you for being a very good sport on this. What I'd like to do to end is give each of you a chance to say something for less than a minute. Okay, what is the 1 or 2 things you think that you can do, not what somebody else can do, not what the government can do, because nobody's here from the government. And if you're a IIT director, you can't say what industry should do. And if you're from industry, you can't say what IIT should do. But what can you do to fundamentally improve collaboration between industry and IITs? Why don't I start from, since I always start from you, I'll start from the other side, if you don't mind, okay? Less than 1 minute, what can you do to improve collaboration between industry and R&D, and IIT, sorry?
One most important thing that I would like to do is to improve the overall ecosystem, both within and outside, to improve collaboration. That is the single thing which is important.
1 minute. Okay.
Less than 1 minute.
Okay. I would just like to say that IIT is a global brand. And for that, we must have some kind of nationalistic collaboration between the Indian corporates and the Indian IITs. So that is the need that is there. We need to pick 3 or 4 shining examples, as we say, and really put all our blood and sweat after it. But that must have the credibility and the delivery that will give the brand the next generation of thought. So this brand needs nurturing, and it cannot be done without the local industry.
No, Anand, my question was not what can anyone else do, but what can you do to improve
Support the
collaboration?
brand.
Okay,
and
support
we
the
want
brand.
to
Okay.
work together with it.
Okay.
Okay?
That's fair. Supporting the
So
brand.
there
is
is a but at the bottom of it, okay?
Okay, thank you. Ravika.
I think industry must create a dedicated person and a small organization to go and seek and find out from different IITs what is it that they're doing. I think industry is very ignorant about it, and they must find out what they're doing and then start this thing of discussion. So, like we were talking about industry liaison program for MIT, similarly industry must have a liaison program with IITs to have a much better communication gap, as people are talking. At the moment, there are a lot of communication gap.
I think the IIT needs to find ways to properly evaluate and reward R&D that's done collaboratively with industry. Just as we do for research that is done in an academic setting like papers and PhD guidance and so on. The second thing is, to actually connect, help our faculty reorient themselves to understand the specific needs, constraints that industries face, wherever they are genuine, adjust to them, and those who are interested to actually deliver, and work with those industries that actually are willing to go the extra distance, because not all industries are willing to do that, but some are, and some leaders are. Work with them, because that's the way in which we're going to get in the next 10 years, a few products that are going to be in everybody's hand, in everybody's home, and actually make a mark that, okay, this was done in India for the first time, and it's made a big, huge success.
So, I feel one of the very important things which was actually mentioned and also based on our own experience, one very important thing is to actually set up facilities to do cutting edge research in specific areas. Essentially, we need groups of faculty in centers of excellence who have access to these kinds of facilities, so the research is really at the cutting edge level. And I think this is something that will certainly make collaboration with industry much more fruitful and rewarding on both sides. And the second thing is to sort of slowly go from what we usually do is go from this concept of single projects with industry to instead move into this idea of partnerships where there are longer term relationships between industry and the IIT, so that we can also align over a period of time to what the needs of the particular industry are, and essentially be better at delivering value.
Thank you very much to all my fellow panelists. I'm not going to try and summarize, because I think there were quite a different set of views coming out, and it's impossible to summarize across all of that. The only thing I could say in closing is that I think across all 6 of you, the directors of IITs as well as industrialists from industry, I think there's a lot of hope that over the next 10 years, this collaboration will increase significantly, and that we will in fact see the emergence of some of the things that we are seeing from other ecosystems around the world. So we look forward to that, and thank you very much to all the panelists.